All right, what do you got? We're back. Week 11 football. I'm not gonna lie to everyone right now. Uh, my brain is a little. I got a little something going on up here. I haven't been to any house parties, but I am preparing to shut down my place of employment due to COVID restrictions. So I'm a little bit flustered for this episode.
In two
Don't
weeks since your last housewarming.
2 weeks.
That takes some time for symptoms to show.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I am getting a test tomorrow though because I want to make sure that I'm good to go for Thanksgiving.
Please let us know how it goes. I'm genuinely concerned about you.
I don't think you are. I think you're lying.
No, I am. I mean, if my co-host dies, then I'm out of the show.
Well, no, you have Statman Cam now.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
We'll find a new Statman.
2-0 on prop bet, by the way, last week for Statman Cam, first week on the show.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
What I mean, the games are rigged. You guys are just trying to bet what the refs are betting. I'm playing the props, which is what's actually profitable. So you should just listen to me. Not you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of last week's games, Mortal Locks, I went 2-1 on my Mortal Locks.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
What did your account show the next morning?
I actually did. I did great.
Yeah, but on those 3 picks, how did your account plus minus go?
On the Mortal Locks, I went 2-1.
But you personally, on your account, Mortal Locks.
Your fades went 2-1.
Yeah.
The Mortal Locks went 2-1.
No,
what do you got?
You did not go 2-1.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, can you put in a clip of last week's episode where you said I will not be taking my Mortal Locks and I will be taking the opposite?
I said that I left it up for the people to decide what they wanted to do with the way that I was describing where I was going with the bets. And all that matters at the end of the day here, Sam, is when you look at the Mortal Locks screen, I went 2-1. And what did you go?
I went 1-2, but 1-0 in mortgage plays.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to turn your losses.
I have 100% winning percentage on my mortgage plays. I just want people to know that. 1-0.
You have a mortgage now, thanks to Sam. But you also have money to get a new couch, maybe a new TV, thanks to my 2-1.
You don't have money to get a new couch or TV thanks to your one.
Let's think about what we learned from those Mortal Locks and those losses. Sam, what did you learn about the Chargers?
I learned that I hate the Chargers, but I still love them.
Did anybody
can't get enough of them? They're so bad. They're so bad.
Justin Herbert's haircut?
It's terrible.
Not great. He's kind of got the Jedi thing going on. I don't know. You guys seen that? He kind of looks like the Jedi.
He's not being LA enough for an LA guy. Like he fits in with LA, but he doesn't have the LA haircut.
Yeah, I did not like seeing that. But
anyway, other things I learned, the Seahawks stink. I actually had that. I know my Mortal Lock was +3, but game day I had him +2, but game day I had him +3 because the line moved a little bit, so I snagged that, and they kicked the field goal at the end, which was the right football decision, but not the right betting decision for me. But as I told you, under in the
San Francisco
49ers Saints game, mortgage. You just have 2 mortgage payments that you can make thanks to me. So
Joe, what did we learn about the Packers?
Are
they the F word?
No, they just slept walk through that game. That's all.
You did say they wouldn't get up for it.
I did say that, but that's why I liked the Packers so much. And then I knew in my heart, to give the people who listen to me.
But what'd you bet?
I didn't bet anything.
That's even worse.
I didn't bet anything that I locked on this show because this is for the people. It's not about me. It's for the people.
If you're giving out Mortal Locks, you take it.
That's in your rule book.
You take it.
Well, that's our quick recap of our Mortal Locks. Joe, do we have any ads this week?
We do actually have an ad. I believe the sponsors sent something to Sam.
Yeah, they did. Myers Clean Day Candles.
There it is.
I actually lost the script. It's somewhere in the trash. No, I didn't throw it in the trash. Recycling because we recycle here. But I use them. You could see candles been used, and they sent it to me 2 days ago. It's gotten great use. Myers all day candles here for your everyday needs. They honestly smell fantastic. I've never had a better smelling room. My dog, she's great and all, but she stinks up the place a bit, and the candle covers it. So I went off the top of the dome there. It wasn't great. I apologize to Myers All Day Candle for that. I will no longer put the script in the recycling. I will keep it next time, and I will give you what you actually told me. But it does a great job of masking dog smells, and a lot of people like dogs. So would
you recommend it for? I know like that you're a date guy, Sam. You're a date guy. You like dates. Would you recommend it for like if you're getting a little intimate?
Yeah, I would actually recommend having 5 of them, and all different scents too. Just mix that all up in the air, get it all musty, and having fun.
Love it. Myers candles.
Myers,
I'm going the opposite of Tesla right now.
Myers Clean Day candles. Yeah, Clean Day. If you like stonks, check out Fuel Cell, FCEL.
Yeah,
big winner.
Big stock guy.
Yeah.
Joe, do you want to talk a little bit about?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So we're going to be doing, even though we just probably spent 10 minutes talking about nothing, we are actually going to be doing a little bit of a different structure this week. We'll see if it hits. We'll see if it clicks. We'll see if the timeline fits. We're going to be doing 5 games that we picked rather than going through the entire slate. 5 games we just really want to talk about. And then we're going to ultimately get to our later segments. We're just not going to be going through every single game this week.
It's just a lot.
It is a lot.
It was really my suggestion to get you guys to stop talking about crappy teams. That's really the purpose.
Now we don't have to spend times on the Dolphins and the Jets.
The Dolphins are good.
Are a bad team. Dolphins are a bad team.
Previously, they used to be a bad team, and we talked about them too much. But now we actually should be talking about them, and we just still refuse to.
We're not talking about them tonight.
Jumping into the games, our first game of the week, Tennessee and Baltimore. Right now, the line's been moving a little bit. I've Titans as a 6-point underdog. Some places you might get the Ravens as a 5-point favorite. Sam, what do you got?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. 64% of the bets are on the Titans. 60% of the money is on the Titans, which means when you have that proportion, a little more money is on the Ravens than the Titans there, at least in terms of the bet percentage. So it does make sense that the line dropped a lot with a lot of the bets being on the Titans. I think I said it last week with Tom Brady, and I know Tom Brady is more established and the better QB just in the history of his life than any QB ever. But I feel like this is a similar sort of game for Lamar Jackson, and it's a put up or shut up game. I think a lot of people are questioning that Ravens offense. Even he is questioning that Ravens offense. 5 points is a lot. It's a lot. But I think normally I would take Tennessee here, so I'm going Ravens. Joe, what do you got?
Yeah, when I first looked at this game, I immediately the way that it's like structured on my laptop, it starts Titans and then goes Ravens. So I immediately revert to thinking about, what about the Titans? Clearly, maybe this is a bounce back game. But then I look at the Ravens and I say, clearly, maybe this is a bounce back game. So it's a bounce back game.
Bounce back.
It's bouncing. This game is bouncing.
It's a back-to-back bounce back. Back.
So with that said, I like what you think about putting faith in Lamar Jackson. I don't know about putting faith in that offense so much, but because it's the bounce to bounce back game of the week, I'm just going to take the over and hope for a good offensive bout here.
I don't hate that pick.
Both teams are struggling a little bit. The Baltimore Ravens did lose standout tight end Nick Boyle, who's made me a lot of money over the years, due to a season-ending injury last week. Be on the lookout for that, prop bettors. Moving on to our next game, which is Atlanta and New Orleans. Atlanta coming in as a 5-point dog here. This game has been getting a lot of movement due to the Drew Brees injury. A lot of people not believing in Jameis Winston. Will there be some Taysom Hill? What do you got, Joe?
I don't like this line. And I don't really care for the line movement that I saw that we discussed before this game, but now seeing where it stands outside of just MGM, it makes a little bit more sense. I can't trust either of these teams this week with this spread, so I'm gonna go with the points, but I don't like it. Falcons +4.
Yeah, I hate that we're kind of agreeing on every pick. I'm also seeing the line at 4. It started at 4.5. 56% of the bets are on the Falcons. 67% of the money are on the Falcons. Sharps like the Falcons, probably why the line decreased from 4.5 to 4. Jameis, this is his chance. Also, the line movement could be a little bit of Kamara being questionable, but I don't think he's going to sit out. So I don't really think. I know I'm bouncing around thoughts here. I'm a bouncing ball, just like Tennessee and Ravens are bouncing back. But yeah, I'm going. I think I'm going Falcons here. I also sneaky. This is just a fade the public bet. I'm gonna go under 52. I have no confidence in that whatsoever, but it's just if you want to fade the public, fade Joe and his stupid moral locks. Go with the under.
Two dome teams playing in a dome. One would be saying the over, but
that's what the public would say.
The public would say.
Yeah, you're not a public guy. Not a public guy. You don't like people. You just bet for yourself and no one else.
Corona, you got to get away from people.
On to our next game, which is another very, very interesting game that pits a very strong offense against a very strong defense. Green Bay and Indianapolis. Green Bay catching points here, which is very, very interesting. Seeing 1.5, somewhere seeing 2.5. Tom, what do you got?
Yeah, hand up. I'm going to say this every single week. I am always on the wrong side of the Packers. I think last week I was actually on the correct side because that line was so dumb in terms of it should have been way higher, and it wasn't because the Jags obviously evidently only lost by 4. But normally throughout the season I've been on the wrong side of the Packers. The line movement is interesting to me in this game. 61% of the bets are on the Packers, while 58% of the money is on the Colts, which is probably why that line moved. As we just discussed, I am a sharp human being. I like to think my brain works in a sharp manner. I am going to take the Colts -2. Joe?
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I think what the real play is based on the Packers now catching 2.5, I will buy that up to 3 and take Packers +3. I mean, the Colts are proving themselves. They are. Like, they're having a good run here. And the Packers, while they came out a little sleepy against Jacksonville, that's a game that they should be allowed to come out sleepy for. So I don't think that I think this line's a little disrespectful, as I like to put it. So, yeah, I'll be putting up the +3 in favor of the Pack.
Maybe we can both cover with a 26.5 to 24 final.
That would be great. I would love that.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams very questionable for that game with an ankle injury, which would factor in. Packers do get Alan Lazard back, but is said to be slowly being put back in the lineup. So something to consider.
What's the record amount of games that Devontae Adams has played consecutively? Do we know? Does anybody know that off the top of their head? Because
all I know is that when he plays, he scores.
It can't be more than 3.
It's crazy. It's crazy that he's the top wide receiver in like fantasy football.
It's because he has 500 yards in every game he plays.
Yep, it's true. That's why I have him on my team.
Yeah.
Next game is another very interesting game given COVID circumstances. Kansas City and Las Vegas meant to be the Sunday night game. A lot of movement going on here with basically all of the Raiders defense being put on the COVID list, but still can potentially play with consecutive negative tests. I'm seeing some Kansas City -8, seeing some Las Vegas +7.5. Sharps likely hammering Kansas City here. Sam, what do you got?
Yeah, this line movement is very confusing to me. 60% of the bets are on Kansas City. 89% of the money is on Kansas City. That's a lot of money to have on a team, and for Vegas, stands a chance to lose a lot of money here. But the line still moved from 9.5 to 8. So Vegas is asking people to bet on the Chiefs. Asking. And because of that, I am going to take their request and I'm going to reverse it and bet on the Raiders. +8.
So you're taking their request and reversing it.
Yeah, I'm reversing their request.
Got it. Okay.
The bait's out there. He's literally taking the bait and then baiting them with it.
Yeah,
This is
like, hey, you requested I take the Chiefs. I'm gonna be like, flip, no, Raiders.
This is why I like to have a just a side universe where I'm able to put it into maybe some speculative audience members' minds that maybe they shouldn't take our picks all the time if you give the little sniff, a little hint towards them, because we agree on everything. This is not good. I'm taking the Raiders too. This is not great.
Can we put an asterisk at the bottom of this pick that says I have the right to change my pick if the entire Raiders defense is out?
Well, then I would take. I want that too.
Yeah. We can both have that.
All right, I'll give it.
Guys, that would be better for you.
Yeah. I don't think as a Raiders better having the entire Raiders defense out would be better for us.
Yeah, you lost me there.
Yeah, no, we're saying that you put an asterisk in on this pick right now, which this video will be out before the Kansas City Raiders game. You put an asterisk in right now saying if the Raiders defense is all like in quarantine because they have COVID, they can't play in the game, and a bunch of like average Joes from the Planet Fitness down the street have to play.
Yeah, well, as of right now, I'd be working under the assumption the spread's saying they're not going to play. So I think this is
the spread's changed in the favor of the Raiders.
I know. I don't get it.
Yeah, no one does. That's why you bet the Raiders.
Yeah, we all agree here.
I want you to write out the
record. I don't take.
those
I don't
three
make picks on the show. But big revenge game. You guys are letting that slide. Chiefs are coming back for vengeance. This will be a shellacking.
I'm not letting that slide. I just straight up think that the Raiders, while it is a big revenge game, the Raiders are decent enough and hate Kansas City enough. They know exactly what they did to Kansas City a couple weeks ago, that they'll be able in their home turf to be able to put up just as much of a fight as they would have a couple weeks ago when they weren't as good of a team.
This game is huge for the Raiders because I'll give you two things. The Raiders, one, are fighting for a wildcard spot. It seems like everyone in the AFC is 6-3 that's not a division leader, which is wild to me. And then the second thing is if the Raiders win this game, they have the tiebreaker versus Kansas City and are only one game back with like 6 games left in the rest of the season. This is an important game for the Raiders.
It's a big game, and I'm really hoping it doesn't get flexed out of Sunday night because we need a good primetime game.
Yeah, and I am hoping it doesn't get flexed out of Sunday night because therefore that would mean that the entire Raiders defense has COVID, which therefore means we have to play this asterisk of our pick not counting for a game that I wanted to count because I like the Raiders.
Yep. All right. One other thing to note there, Chiefs very angry that the Raiders apparently drove around Arrowhead after the game in their team bus celebrating. It's just a rumor on the street, but we'll see how it all ends up on Sunday night.
Grow up.
Last game that we're going to talk about is the Monday night game. It's the LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady needing a primetime bounce back from his last primetime performance. Bucks coming in as 3.5-point favorites. You can see +4 some places. Joe, what do you got here?
So we all knew what Tom Brady was going to do. If you loved my picks last week, you probably heard that and were like, oh, before you even got to the Mortal Locks, you put in a Tom Brady pick. But when you got to the Mortal Locks, I needed to get out of my funk. I went the other way. It didn't work out for me. That was my only loss. I went 2-1, by the way. So
your loss was the Bucks.
what we're gonna do here? Yeah, I know it didn't work out for me. That's what I'm saying. But I went 2-1. It was my only loss. Anyway, so what we're gonna do here? You're gonna listen to me. We're gonna do something here, okay? All you need to know about this game. All you need to know. And if you go back through every episode of this, the canceled show, Build the House, I mentioned it. I've been saying this week in and week out. I finally caught the coattails of this ride a couple weeks back, and I've been riding it ever since. If you hit on the Rams one week, you fade them the next week. If you hit that fade, you take them, like you take their whatever their pick is the following week. You flip-flop every week. You flip-flop the Rams every single week. You are taking the Bucks here. I don't care how many points it's by. The Rams are not showing up for this after their big win against Seattle. It's not going to happen. Jared Goff is the most inconsistent person I've ever seen in the NFL, and that's just the way it is. So you're taking the Bucks.
Yeah. I'm a little confused by this line. It started at 3.5. 51% of the bets are on the Bucks. Went up to 4. That's because 75% of the money is on the Bucks. I don't love the spread, to be honest, because I would think that the Bucks should be favored by more at home. I know it's a Monday night game, but still west to east for the Rams. It's a long flight. California to Florida, that's a long flight.
I feel like the Rams have been flying all year. They've been flying like crazy. Their travel schedule.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time in the air. If I had to pick this game in terms of a spread, I guess I'd take the Bucks, but I don't love it just because I feel like that line should be a lot higher. The real play over under 51% of the money is on the over, which is baffling to me. The Bucks put up 46 points last week. How is more of the public not on the over? But 90% of the bets are on the over, and the line still hasn't moved. Sorry, 51% of the bets, 90% of the money is on the over. I feel like it's a sucker's bet, but I'm still going to ride with it and take the over. It's such a sucker's bet. The Bucks put up 46 points last week. You get a 46-3 game and you win.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Mortal Locks of the Week.
No, it's not.
Oh,
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh my God. I went out of order.
Sirens.
We have a new segment this week. It is called Homer Hits.
In the air to right field. Wow, forget about that one. That is a long home run off the facing of the upper deck. Woo!
Crazy.
Wow.
We are going to take this time for Joe to talk about the insufferable Eagles and Sam to talk about the possibly tanking Patriots. Sam, what do you got about your Patriots?
All right, so the Pats go into Houston this week. They opened up as a 3-point dog, but I'll tell you what, Joe, we had this discussion 2 weeks ago. We sat on this set right here. I sat here, you sat in your office with your vodka hand sanitizer. And we talked about me talking about the Pats making some noise. And I will not say the Pats will make some noise because I do not like the term make some noise. It is a dumb term, and we are not here to make noise. We are only here to win championships. And this Pats team, they might go 11-5. They might run the table. They wouldn't be a 1 seed. They won't be a 1 seed. Now 11-5. But they'll make the playoffs. They'll still maybe be a wild card team because the Bills might just finish 12-4. But they will make it to the Super Bowl. I'm saying that right now. Make it to the Super Bowl. So with that being said, 2 points is not a lot of points. You should take the Pats because it moved from -3 Texans, which that's dumb to ever open at -3 to -2 Pats. I'm taking the Pats. 65% of the bets are on the Pats. 64% of the money's on the Pats. That's the line movement we like to see. Pats -2. Not even a field goal.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even really going to respond to anything because I'm just still like taking in everything you said about how you just locked them in as they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I heard that.
Super Bowl or bust. That's the Patriot way. Do your job. Cover.
All right. Well, my game, I'm going to talk about
that game.
Yeah, my game. My
No, but
game.
Are you not gonna
My game. We're gonna move on from it very quickly because I really don't actually want to talk about it. The weather. The only thing that I have to talk about this game. What?
Make a pick on the Patriots-Texans game.
Oh, fine. I didn't know that we were doing that for Homer Hits, but fine. New England. Yeah, I'm riding New England with you.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Fade. Too many draft situations.
Yeah, so Eagles-Browns, I mean, this game, in my opinion, as we all know, the way that I value -3 home games is basically it's a pick 'em. And in Cleveland, the last 2 home games for Cleveland, it's been an absolute shit show weather-wise. And I did do a little bit of research today. It does look like rain again in Cleveland this Sunday. So I think that's been the biggest factor for them. And I think the Eagles stink. So I'm going to go Cleveland -3. It's probably a bad idea, but that's just what I'm going to take because, the Eagles are just atrocious. I'll take the under 47.5.
I have a question for you. Do you think the Eagles are worse than the Texans?
Probably.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take the Browns -3.
Okay.
Only reason I ask is because the Browns were a 3-point favorite at home last week to the Texans, and they pushed. So, they were actually 3.5.
That was arguably one of the strangest games. You hear crazy things. Vegas made a lot of money on that game on Nick Chubb running out at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, spread was actually 3.5. I stand corrected, not 3.
Some people had 3. The hook was very important there. So
I think we bought it down on this show. I
Always
think we bought it down.
Always buy it.
Yep.
You have to. Now, Cam, now's your time to shine. What segment are we at?
Now it is time for the Mortal Locks of the Week.
Oh, man.
We are going to start with my Mortal Locks on the prop side while these guys prepare their statements for their Mortal Locks of the Week. I went 2-0 last week with Corey Davis and Derrick Henry's under 4.5 yards on his first carry. He got 3.
Wow.
That was a whole 1.5 yard win. This week, my top lock is Justin Jefferson over 57.5 yards receiving. They're playing Dallas this week, and I'm not sure if you guys watched the Monday night game, but Justin Jefferson, pretty good football player.
He's good.
He is. This is an insulting line, to be completely honest. We are then moving on to Chase Edmonds with over. Sorry, I lost my prop. Chase Edmonds over rushing yards is 23.5 tonight on Thursday night. Chase Edmonds averages 5.8 yards per carry in a no-huddle offense and 5.1 yards per carry out of the shotgun. He's going to be splitting time with Kenyon Drake, but that's an insulting line. Chase Edmonds bouncing back after a few crummy weeks. That is your prop locks of the week. Sam, let's start with you on your Mortal Locks. What do you got?
Wow. I don't really hate starting with me on my Mortal Locks because I do better when I go second. But last week I went 1-2, so I'm looking for a bounce back. I'm looking for a back-to-back bounce back along with the Ravens and the Titans. Yeah, and we're doing that. So I don't love many games this week, which is why I love my games so much. And I'm guaranteeing a 2-1 week. Guaranteeing. The first pick of my 3 Mortal Lock picks that are guaranteed to go 2-1 is the Detroit Lions -1 at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers opened up as a 1-point favorite. They are getting 52% of the bets, which I know 52-48, not that much. However, the line has moved a full 2 points to the Lions -1. Detroit's getting 58% of the money. I like that game a lot. McCaffrey is still not playing for Carolina. Detroit, sneaky in wildcard contention. I will, even with Stafford hurt, Galladay still nicked up. He might be back. So Detroit -1. Book it.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like that, but I mean, the listeners can choose what they want. That's your mortal lock, not
If
mine.
you don't like it and it's better to fade Joe, then that means it's a great pick by me.
That's okay because I'm not touching it, so that's up to them if they want to take the guy who went 1-2 last week versus the guy who went 2-1 last week. So my first mortal lock
is the guy that went 7-9 on the season.
My first mortal lock. Also, I thought of this too. Instead of I'm not going to touch because I'm on a groove now. Obviously, I'm in the winner's circle. I don't have to do the fade Joe, love Joe shtick. But I did think of something for Cam. If we're ever in a situation where Cam needs to be in that mindset, flop or prop.
Flop or prop.
Love it. I love it. Just saying. And that's good juju to move into my first mortal lock of the week, which is we talked a lot about the Kansas City Las Vegas game. And we talked about the biggest factor being whether or not the defense for the Raiders is actually going to be able to step foot on the field on Sunday. And I think regardless of that, there's only one real lock in mind that we didn't really touch on, and that's the over. Everything that we talked about, Kansas City being a revenge game, Kansas City being heated about the team bus driving around Arrowhead, the Raiders potentially not having defensive players on the field. You're taking the over 56.5. It's going to be a blowout on both sides of the ball. If Kansas City is able to put up 30 in the first half, the Raiders are going to have to do something. So there's no way that this over doesn't hit. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ways the over doesn't hit. The score could be 21-14.
I mean, okay. That's not what I'm telling the people, though. The people listen to me.
All right. So my second pick, we actually discussed this game earlier, and it's solely a line movement pick, is the Colts -2. I'm probably going to buy that to 1.5. So make sure the graphic says Colts -1.5. But yeah, as I've said, I've been on the wrong side of Green Bay, so you could take that with a grain of salt. But 61% of the bets are on Green Bay. 59% of the money is on the Colts. The line has moved from Green Bay, which is a 2.5-point favorite, which is a significant road favorite, down to Colts -2. So I love everything about that. Don't love the pick, but love the line movement. Colts -2, -1.5. I'm taking it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really agree with that one either. Just saying.
Good.
We already discussed that.
You're 7-9 on the season. I don't want you to agree with any of my picks.
That's okay. All right, my next lock, we go to a team that is good. They're good. They're a good team. The Miami Dolphins traveling to Mile High against the Denver Broncos. True lock. Bad game last week. Bad game. But if there's any quarterback in the league that has flip-flop tendencies, it's him. What?
He's bad. He's just good with 10 minutes left in the game, down by 21 points.
Great fantasy quarterback.
Yeah. Great. That's fine. If he's down by that much in this game, I think this cover still pulls into play. I like the Broncos here +3.5 at home. I think the Dolphins might be in a game situation here where their heads are a little too high above the clouds, even in Mile High. You're taking the Broncos.
I like what you did there. This is a game we actually talked about on Monday right away when the lines came out, and you were like, "This is a trap game for the Dolphins."
Yep.
So I thought you were going to do a little flip-flop Joe act there and go Dolphins, but I'm happy you didn't. You stay with the Broncos.
Thanks.
My last pick, and this is a pick that comes with a huge asterisk, as we have discussed earlier in the show. Please make sure that asterisk appears right now when I also make this pick right here. So I could only have a 2-pick mortal lock week, which would go 2-0 as I promised a winning week. But in the case that this game does happen the way I expect it to happen, Raiders +8, defense needs to play. That is the big thing. As we've discussed, huge game for the Raiders. They need to win this game to stay in wildcard contention. They need to win this game to maybe win the division. Sneaky could win the division there. The money doesn't make sense. 60% of the bets are on the Kansas City. 89% of the money is on Kansas City. The line still dropped by a full 1.5, even with the news coming out that the Raiders defense might not play at all. So asterisk, yeah, I'm going to bet it no matter what. But for my moral lock record, the defense has to play.
So, well, what are you picking here? See, now you're doing what I tried doing last week.
I said I'm picking the Raiders no matter what. But for my moral lock record, I will not take the line If it changes, we just will wipe it from my Mortal Locks. It's just a 2 Mortal Lock pick week for Sam.
No, I don't. Why? No. Cam ruling.
I ruled that is complete bullshit.
Thank you.
Either way, Raiders +8, but put the asterisk there, and I want the asterisk next to my record.
If the second they announce that the Raiders defense is healthy, is that line not going to go back to 9.5?
No, why would it? If anything, it would go down even more.
Well, no, but it opened at 9.5. Then we had news. Well, this game's messing with my head.
No, but you're saying that if the defense gets healthy, the line's going to change?
No. If the defense doesn't play, that means that you'd want it white. That means that the line will go up to like Raiders +9.5, +10, whatever the case may be. And you think Kansas City will blow them out of the water, right? If the defense doesn't play, but that means that you only get to have 2 Mortal Locks.
Yeah. You only get to Sam. You have to bet the number right now, like that. We're gonna know like tomorrow.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
All right, whatever. I'll let you do it.
No. Okay, fine. No matter what, Raiders +8. Lock it in.
Thank you.
But I still want the asterisks to show up at the bottom of the screen. I'm just telling you right now, I'm still taking it.
Okay, fine. But
because I bet
you have 3 Mortal Locks. And
I bet my bets that I give out on the show. Rule number 1, rule book.
Got it. Yeah, credit to you. And you know what? Because of how much of a man you were right there and stepped up to the plate and just put your balls on the table, I'm gonna match you right here, and I'm gonna just help you out a little bit. I'm gonna take my 3rd Mortal Lock as New England -1.5 or -2, whatever it is now, -2. I'm going all over.
You can buy the hook.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start like
buy it to 1.5.
We're gonna have to start having some fractional wins on Mortal Locks with you guys buying all these half points.
You're allowed to buy a half point on any book in the world.
Yeah, sure, but it's going to cost you.
Well, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not buying. Whatever it's at right now, I'll take it. I'm not buying a point on the Mortal Lock right now. It's at -2.
Yeah.
I'm taking Patriots -2. I think the Patriots win that game pretty easily. I'm kind of on board with Sam in the fact that I think the Patriots are actually going to like surprise some people and do what they always do. So
congrats to us for being real men this week, and thank you to Myers Clean Day Candles for helping that become a reality. I think it's the scent that comes in, it just really changes your mindset.
Yeah,
that's just it.
Myers Clean Day.
Ad revenue going back up.
Yeah, to the moon.
All right, well, anything else before we wrap up?
No, I'm glad that you stepped to the plate this week and are going to take the picks that you gave out.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Credit to me.
Credit to Myers.
And still also credit to me for going 2-1 last week.
And credit to me for being 100% on my mortgage place.
Amen. All right, see you guys.
Good night, folks.